We're here today with Sam Gill of SalsAmigos, a nonprofit that teaches teens salsa dancing. So Sam, can you just tell me a little bit about how SalsAmigos came to be?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. I started teaching salsa to teens, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago. A local high school asked me to teach a program for them, and I didn't really want to do that at the time because I thought that working with teens would be kind of a painful experience and it would be really hard to keep them focused. But I was so totally wrong on that. I started teaching teens at that point and found it so exciting and vitalizing for me. They were just willing and able and capable of doing so much. Then I had a group of young women that came to see me, and they wanted to develop a performance group. So we started then what was young women's salsa performance group called Salsaritas, and they got to be so great that we took them to international competition for 2 years in Vancouver. They did very well there, and that gave me an idea about what the potential was for this dance form. So I continued to teach in the high school and began to develop particular ways of teaching it and particular ways of developing the dance form itself so that it would be called SalsAmigos and have its own distinctiveness. And then it would be able to serve so many different teen needs while being a really fun dance. So SalsAmigos came about a couple years ago when we decided to put together a nonprofit that would serve primarily just these teen needs in dancing, and so that's where it came from.
Great. So I understand that you're developing a lecture series based on different aspects of SalsAmigos. Can you tell me about how you decided to do that?
Sure. Well, I'm an academic at the University of Colorado. I teach dance-related topics and body-related topics. And so I've done a lot of research on what is dance, how does it function, how does it work in the human body. I'm trying to develop a theory of dancing that extends well beyond the kinds of theories that you get when you're focused primarily on art forms of dance in Western cultures, so that it could be a comparative category that you could use to study cultures all over the world. So I have all this academic background, and when I began to see the impact of SalsAmigos dancing on teens, then I decided there was an enormous amount of research that I could do to help me understand what is that impact, how it serves them. And so I launched then a sort of many-pronged area of research to simply investigate all these different aspects of dancing, and particularly in terms of SalsAmigos. So this was like hitting sort of the mother lode, because all the research that I did just worked so well with this dance form to really help me understand how it worked well for them. So I decided, well, why not put some of this down and make it available to other people. So I decided what I wanted to do was to put out a lecture series. I don't know how many lectures there'll be, but there'll probably be at least 10. These will simply be on different aspects of how dancing, and particularly SalsAmigos dancing, affects human beings and how it's very beneficial to them.
Great. So since there's potentially 10, could you give me an idea of what some of the topics of those lectures might be?
Sure. The two that are finished now, one is an introduction to SalsAmigos, and I felt this was necessary because it's a form of Rueda de Casino, which is salsa done in a circle. But SalsAmigos' style of Rueda de Casino is really different than you'd find in most social settings throughout the world. So, and that's because I've developed it in a way to really serve teen needs. One of those is so that everybody leads and follows, and all of the dancers dance with each other. So boys dance with boys, girls dance with girls, so we don't have to have any group that knows one part that matches with a group that knows the other part. Everybody dances, so, and they both know every part. So that's a part of it. And then another innovation in that is that Rueda de Casino is usually done as a social dance. So the circle is facing inward, so that there's all this sort of social energy generated throughout that. So I decided that we want to do performances as well, so that to turn the circle to the outside, so that people can actually see the dancers, has the added benefit of then they're not only doing the sort of ambidextrous movements of lead and follow, but they're also doing them from to the inside and the outside of the circle. So the first video just introduces SalsAmigos so that people really understand, oh, okay, here's what this dance is, has plenty of video and a discussion of what distinguishes that. So that's the first one. Then the second one is a real important one to me. It's on touch in SalsAmigos dancing. My academic research shows me that touch is really fundamental to being human beings. Babies that aren't touched literally die within a year of being born. And throughout our lives, touch is really essential to us as human beings in terms of good, healthy development and so forth. So understanding that SalsAmigos dancing is a dance in which people touch one another and touch one another in an appropriate, healthy, functional way, then I thought it would be really important to then set SalsAmigos dancing in the context of schools right now, which pretty much prohibit touch. That's of course done for good reasons, which is to protect our young people, but at the same time it deprives them of that real essential nurturing of touch. So I wanted to do one of these lectures on the importance of touch and touching, and then place that in the context of the school situation where touching is prohibited, and then show how, as the example of SalsAmigos, that appropriate and healthy touching can be really fantastic. So those two are complete and ready to go. And then the rest of the series, I'll just mention a few of the titles for that, and there will be perhaps others as I go along. One is on teamwork. This is SalsAmigos is an inclusive, cooperative dance form, so that it creates a wonderful sense of teamwork where everybody's in the circle, everybody has to function together, and there is a really important point in the teaching of this where young people find, oh my gosh, we're a team, we have to work together. So one is about teamwork and how that whole thing works. Let's see, another one is about brain development. A lot of new research shows that teen brains develop in ways we didn't know they actually developed. The issue there is when teen brains physically develop, what kinds of activities are valuable to take advantage of these periods of physical brain development so that teen brains then really develop in their acuity and their functionality. And what I'm exploring in this video is how SalsAmigos dancing or movement forms like this actually have an impact on brain development. So that will be another one. Another one certainly is on fitness. The SalsAmigos dancing is a vigorous movement form, and we've certainly experienced the kids get tired out after an hour, hour and a half of dancing, and so that's really good for them, particularly in the context of culture today where so many young people simply are not fit anymore. So that will be on fitness. Let's see, another one will be on difference and disability. Of course, this is one of the major problems in the world today, is people accepting people that are not like them and understanding that differences are sometimes really vitalizing for us. So I focus then on difference and disability in one of these videos, or I will, and to really show how the circle incorporates people, it creates tolerance, it creates a sense of cooperation, and an acceptance of difference in a way that's really healthy and really important.